and welcome to a new Autogefühl episode. I am Katerina and today we're going to have a look together at the new Audi A3 Cabriolet. Before this car came into the market, you always had to choose between luxurious, big, expensive and great looking cabriolets and small ones that were affordable but lacked design. Here, this Audi A3 Cabriolet, you find the best of both worlds. A cabriolet at an affordable, well, rather affordable price that combines great design elements and has the look and feel of just the great convertible look. It is called cabriolet in every market and Audi wants to set it to a global success. In the US, the first time such a compact convertible is available. It starts at just below $36,000 with a high trim level and a 1.8 liter turbo. Here in Germany, we start at 30,000 euros with a low trim level, and we have petrol engines available as well as diesels. We have already shown you a video about the S3 Cabriolet. We will link to that in the video description if you're interested. We've also driven some petrol engines and today we want to compare them to the diesel. And what is especially interesting, can this car replace bigger or even more expensive cars? Can it be even more fun? Today we're going to find out for you. The exterior design is dominated by a very stringent side profile. This is what makes a greatly designed car. It is so important that you have not so many design lines, and this is being well kept by Audi. What is also very important, this car is 18 centimeters longer than its predecessor, and it doesn't end with a rear window. It's longer in a classic sedan style and a true cabriolet style. And it makes this car so much more beautiful than its predecessor, I think, because now it looks like a complete car, a real cabriolet, a cabriolet with style. This is the S-line. For example, we have a chrome A-pillar and down here an additional side guard. For me, I don't like the side guard that much. It looks a little bit deplaced, out of place, I have to say. It looks additionally attached, well it is, and for me it doesn't really feel like it belongs. These are the 17-inch alloys. I would recommend to choose the 18-inch alloys because they look a little bit better, but still you don't have so much danger to damage them when you're driving. In the front you can also see the S-line design because we got a black single frame grille, and down here you also have an additional sporty element attached. So all in all, the front looks really strong and masculine. In the back we have a very slightly visible inbuilt wing. A separately attached wing would look very clumsy on this car. Now we're going to look at the interior design of the car. The first thing you notice when starting the engine is that this little screen smoothly slides up and you're greeted by your Audi A3. I really like it that it's not there all the time. So this screen is very important because most of the functions are steered through the screen. You notice that the interior is very clean and that there are not so many buttons. Only the things you need most of the times, like temperature here, or for example the basic choices, radio, media, telephone or navigation systems, you can choose while using buttons or shifts. The other things are all in here. What I find very important and what I'm used to from cars of the higher segment are those buttons here right at my thumbs on the steering wheel. So I can move or shift to a different soundtrack, for example, or choose the loudness of the radio. So this is what makes this car a very modern car, and I like to have like a clean view in my cockpit, for example. We're gonna have a look at the seats, and you notice those seats are longer than normal seats because you can move the front pedal here, which is easier when you sit on the seat, obviously, than doing it from the side. So if you have very long legs, like me, you will feel very comfortable because this seat goes right until your knee. We have, in this car, we have a mix of leather and Alcantara, which makes the interior, also the feeling of the interior cockpit area, quite comfortably. You also have the Alcantara here, and it gives you a little bit the feel of your own living room in a very positive way. So you feel at home immediately in this car. What is an important thing as well in a convertible is this thing, what some manufacturers will call air scarf. It gives you a warm airflow right here at your neck. So usually you would always take a scarf with you while driving the convertible because there's always wind, even if the wind perception in this car is very good, I think, but somewhere there's air all the time because you don't have a roof, not close when you're driving the car. So it's a very good feature I would definitely recommend, but it's an extra. Right behind me you can see the wind cut. It was very hard to attach it, but I have looked at the back seats and tested them. I have to say it's only a little space. I mean, it's the A3, come on, you don't expect a huge rear seating position. And I would say behind me, not an adult can sit there. Maybe this seat way to the front, so two very small people or with very short legs can sit there. But I think it's a good thing to have those seats as an option. Also, it gives you more space, for example, for your shopping bags. This is especially important. The trunk is not very spacious. You can see you can maybe fit in 2 boxes of water bottles. I can't show it to you because the wind cut is mounted now. There's a little trick. If you pull this thing here, you can unleash the back seats over there, and then you can put longer things in here. When driving the Audi A3, you immediately notice the great suspension. It is very smooth, as Germans would say, butterweich, meaning soft as butter. That is what I personally like very much about the Audi cars. It's there always, and I would say in this one it's even better. This diesel is a 2-liter TDI, and we have a consumption between 7 and 8 liters. I think that's a little bit much for this car. It could be better, I would say, but of course it's better than the petrol engines. Driving the car, you don't immediately notice it's a diesel because it's so silent, but yet the acceleration is so good. It's really fast and very smooth. People normally say you never take a diesel for a cabriolet, but I think in this case it works because it doesn't sound bad, it's smooth, it's silent, and it's just a great ride. Driving the Audi A3, you notice that it's a very agile car, and it also feels very sporty when driving. It's not too big, even when you cruise in the countryside on small roads. What you love to do when driving the car, for example, here we have little goats on our right side. That's what I love about driving a convertible. You always find those small little spots, and with a small car, it's not small, but for me it feels it has the right size, so I can go explore, but I can also park in easily. That's very important for me. I usually go on rides in the convertible on the weekend, for example, or after work. Not dressed like I'm going on a cruise or something, or on a sailing boat, so I like it when there's not so much wind. Here in the Audi, the wind is not too much, even when you drive a little bit faster, for example 100 kilometers an hour. One thing I always need is the rear view camera. Here with the yellow lines you see what my destination is when I go back, and you can also see this way is not the way to go, so I have to adjust my turn. And the steering wheel, it has a very compact size. It's a small steering wheel, and for me it feels very good to handle, and also what is very important, I don't need much power to move it. It's very soft and easy to steer, you see that here? And that's what I like. And for the rear view camera, I don't like when I have to turn my head very much, like here in the rear view mirrors or something, or here go back. So that is why you definitely have to take the rear view camera in every car. I do recommend it to you. You can say this convertible is one of the best on the market at the moment. Of course, Audi is never cheap, but still it is a good deal. Even if you consider you can step down a segment, for example, from a bigger convertible, and you get an even more modern car with a very sporty attitude. So thank you for watching Autogefühl. It was my pleasure to present this car to you because I really like it very much personally. If I was going to buy a new car, this would be it. So I would like to know, what do you think about this car, especially which color would you choose if you had to? My favorite would be white or blue.